Hey, what's happening, guys? This is Jerry over at Wealth Dynamics. I hope you're doing well today. I'm coming to you today live so I can bring you purpose, wealth, and freedom in your life so that you can own your potential. Now, what I want to talk about this morning is how to build a schedule. And the reason I want to do this video is I think that building a schedule is one of the most confused and misunderstood topics out there, mostly because nobody knows what a schedule actually is. So if you're like me growing up, the only time you heard the word schedule was when you were late. Like if you were like going out the door to church, your parents were like, hey, you're behind schedule. Hurry it up. We've got to be at church at this time. So like early on in my life, I thought and I associated the word schedule with late. Like it was a negative connotation. I was like, why would I want to schedule? I don't want to be told what to do. I don't want to schedule. I don't want to have any of that stuff going on. It's constricting. Until I got into business, okay? So let me tell you a little bit about my story early on. So I was a junior state champion bodybuilder in high school, and I would compete, I would work out, and after high school, I was still really into bodybuilding for about 2 years. And so I had to work out like intensely. And so I had a job. I was trying to get my workouts in. I was trying to do meal prep, and I was still trying to start a business up part-time. And I remember sitting down with one of my managers at one time. He was a sales manager at the company I was working for, and he said, hey, you need to build a schedule. So I went into full discipline mode. I was like, man, I'm going to build a freaking schedule. Like, I'm going to build such a schedule that it's going to be bulletproof, and then nothing's going to stop me, and I'm going to be doing perfect, by the dot, by the hour, every single time, and I'm never going to miss anything. And I had it on my phone, and I had this sweet little app, and I color-coded it, and I woke up the next day, and none of it happened. Didn't follow through on a single thing, and I was so frustrated. I was pissed. I thought it was everyone else's fault. I was blaming Lexi. I was blaming my job. I was blaming my customers. I was blaming everyone but me. And it's because I didn't understand what a schedule really was. If you've had that experience, I want you to like or share this right now. Now, after I learned about that, my manager, same guy, told me, Jerry, if you don't allow for some flexibility in your schedule, you're going to be the most frustrated person in the world. You're going to be pissed off all the time. And I was pissed off all the time because I was always late. My schedule, all it did was make me aware that I was always late. I couldn't be on time for stuff. That I'd miss meetings, that I'd say I wanted to do things and they wouldn't get done. See, my schedule was uncovering deeper problems. So when I finally realized a schedule is not about time, and I've said this over and over and over, my boy Josh will understand this, time is made up. Time is not real. Time is the measurement of motion between 2 points of distance. That's all time is. It just measures change. And when I realized that about my schedule, that it was just measuring activity. It wasn't time. Time wasn't even a thing. It was the activity that I'm going to be doing. That's when I figured things out. So guys, this is how I do my schedule now, and I want to share this with you so that you're not confused about your schedule. So don't start with your time. Start with the activity. And the activity is based on the goal. What am I trying to achieve? Okay, I have a schedule because I'm trying to achieve something. If I wasn't trying to achieve anything, I wouldn't have any reason to have a schedule. I wouldn't budget my time out. I would just leave it as is. So if I've got goals, that means I'm also going to have some targets, some quotas, some different metrics that I need to achieve, and I need to analyze on a daily and weekly basis, am I on track for these things? Okay, now, in order to hit these things, I've got to do certain actions. Okay, let's say you're in a business. You need a certain amount of sales. Well, it's great for your target to be, let's say, $20,000 sales, but a number doesn't help you. You have to have action that's going to create the number. So if you put on your schedule $20,000 in sales, I'm going to do that at noon, very likely you're going to sit at your desk staring at the computer because you won't know what to do. So you have to get it down to the activity. To make $20,000 in sales, what am I going to do? Okay, I'm going to call these 15 people that I know are buyers today. That's the action, and I'm going to call them between 12 and 2, and that's going to be the thing I do, and the outcome will be $20,000 in sales. See, so what you need to do is you need to line up, what am I going to do today? What am I doing today based on what I'm trying to do this week, based on what I'm trying to do this month, based on what I'm trying to do this quarter, based on what I'm trying to do this year, based on what I'm trying to do in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, etc. Like the schedule should literally be that aligned with everything. So what am I going to do today? Now, you do have stuff you have to do. Okay, the first things you have to do, you have to wake up at a certain time. You have to go to bed at a certain time. So do schedule those things in first, okay? Next thing is you need to then start looking at what are the mandatory things I have today. What's Mando? What do I have to be at my meetings? All of those things. I like to pencil those in first because those are like, you know, they're prior engagements. They're non-negotiables. I've got to be there, so I put those in my schedule next. Okay, once I've done that, I then schedule in my personal development time. That's the most important time, my personal development time, and then my playtime or my family time, I put that in next. Now, all you guys that are watching the video right now that cop out and use your family as the excuse, I just busted that myth for you. Your family can't be the excuse. If you put them in there first, they're not going to be the excuse. You can't be like, I didn't get this done because my family, or I can't because my family. You put them in already. Okay, once you've covered your personal development time and your family and playtime, then you can handle your targets. Okay, everything that's left is going to be allocated towards achieving your targets for the day. So what you should do is you should count up the amount of open time that you have available. So let's say, you know, after you've scheduled all that stuff, there's still 4 hours of time that's unspoken for. Convert those hours into minutes. Now you know how many minutes you have, right? And then I want you to divide the minutes by the amount of tasks you have for the day. If you had 200 minutes and you had 10 tasks to get done today, and you divide the minutes by 10 tasks, that tells you that you have 20 minutes per task. 20 minutes per task. Okay, 20 minutes per task means that you have 20 minutes to get each one of those things done. Now, here's the deal. Not every one of those things is going to take 20 minutes. So you're going to do it, and then basically you're going to pump up. Like maybe you get one done in 2 minutes or 3 minutes because it wasn't actually that big of a task. Well, now you've got another 17 minutes to roll forward, which you will use on one of the tasks that's going to take you longer than 20 minutes. You see what I'm saying? It's like a surplus. So I allocated 20 minutes to get each of these things done. One of them only took 3. Well, calls are going to take more than 20 minutes. I've got 20 plus the 17 left over from the prior task. I've got 37 minutes to make my calls. Okay, if you do that every day, that's going to give you the amount of time you need to get your schedule done. You'll get rid of the confusion. You'll budget the time out. Now, here's the other thing on the schedule. No different than a budget, you actually have to go back and look. Did I do the things that I needed to do today? If I did, I'm going to check them off my list. If I didn't, they roll forward till tomorrow. I got to finish them still. And you got to keep track and audit what you're actually getting done and what you're not finishing so that they do get done. Otherwise, you just have a bunch of cool stuff on paper which you never actually do anything with. So guys, I hope that helps you. If that was a benefit to you, I want to see likes, I want to see shares. If you know someone in your life, maybe it's your spouse, maybe it's a buddy, maybe it's a business partner that just sucks at scheduling, very likely they went through the same thing I went through, and this video would definitely help them. So make sure you share this. I appreciate you guys hanging out in the dark with me as I drive home. I'll talk to you guys next time. Like, share, subscribe.